And hello to all my Leo friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for November 2022. Now today they've dialed up for my great Leos a Celtic cross spread. It's a great spread for general readings because it looks a little bit in the past, a little bit in the future, but mostly focuses on the meat and potatoes of what we're looking for, which in this case is November. And they want to focus on this spread. They've asked to do no extra at the end, so when that happens, there's usually a deep dive into the Celtic cross here. Now, the Celtic cross is an interesting one because it's the only spread that I do that devotes a card to the environment. So there's something around you in the month of November that is very important that they want to discuss. So we're going to go through all that and conclude your reading with the Runestone. So we're ready to go, guys. We'll waste no more time. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. Maybe. There we go. We are on and recording. Here we go. What I'm doing now, guys, these are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into 3 different pieces and then putting it back together in a separate order. It satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot, and it's the same procedure for personal private readings. So it's just like you're here with me now. And then we're ready to go. Here comes the Celtic cross. This is you and all that you are. This is what crosses you. This is what's behind you, the recent past. This is what's in front of you, the near future. This is what's above you, something that you're aware of, and this is what's below you, something that you're not. Now this may get a little off camera. The phone there is kind of like a wide screen, and this spread goes tall, so I'll move it around to make sure you see everything. But this is your main cross. Then we have running up the sides here with 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10. Gonna bend that in a little bit in hopes of getting it in view. First, let's check my inverts, see if my distribution is good. It looks okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just fine the way it is. The only thing I really tack onto the Celtic cross is a couple angel oracle cards. And it's just to the major arcanas. It is just to the big themes, which we have one here. We have one here at the very end, the final outcome. Scoot this over a little bit, actually. And we have one more here on spot number 9. Okay, so now it's just a matter of getting it all on camera, getting you to see it. So here we go. Let's check out that main cross. You can see the bottom. Here's your cross here, going up the top here to the Fool card inverted. In this deck, it's a ferret. All that glitters is the Oracle card. And then we move over to the sides. 7, 8, 9 with the Oracle card. If I can bend that far, there we go. 9 with the Oracle card. And then 10, the final outcome is going to be up here. We got the Lover's card and Fork in the Road. So we're going to get started right now, Leo. No time to waste. Let's do it. Let's do it. A few major themes here, which is probably why they wanted to focus on just the Celtic cross today for the month of November. Just kind of creating some room here for myself, spreading everything out so I can see it very clear. Let's get started. Starting at the very beginning, Leo, we start with rest, relaxation. This is vacation-like energy. I don't know if some of you are doing something like that in November, or if that is the advice. Maybe you need a break. Maybe it's time to, hey, kick up the feet. Get in a hammock, in a nice warm place. It is going to start cooling off here at some point, but there are places that stay warm all year. So this is that vacation vibe, and even if you're not going to a tropical destination, this is the energy of it. So they want you to enjoy the month of November. Get away from the busy bee activity of what probably October was for you Leos, and enjoy it. So the next thing they show here is that we do have a break in. Well, this card is my card of sickness, but it also means other things. In this deck specifically, I call this my icicles in the hair card, and it basically just means something that's discomforting. And, like I said, it can mean sickness. Of course, if you're sick, that's pretty discomforting itself, but this can also be more like mental sickness, mental fog, stuff that is just like, I'm just not really comfortable with the way I'm feeling about this situation, this circumstance, this scenario, something like that. So what they show here, inverted, thankfully, this is one of those cards you do want inverted, you want flipped around, because it shows that you're getting over this. If somebody in the family has been sick, or maybe you, getting over it here in November. Getting away from those germs and the viruses, or like I said, the icicles in the hair, something that is uncomfortable, we're breaking free from that too. So we got the icicles in the hair, but we're shaking them off, okay? We're breaking free from that. So that's the way your month starts. That's what they show first. As we move back into the past here, this is recent past, they do show that you have done a pretty good job of balancing things here. And I know that last month was a tough reading for some of my Leos, a tough call. This here shows that you've done a pretty good job getting yourself to this point. You've done a good balancing act. Usually this card means two different areas of your life. So one usually is love and family. The other one is usually work. That's how most people do this juggling act. But this could be different corners for different people, for different folks, for great Leos. Some of you may be having the health thing on one of these corners, health versus financial, or health versus work, health versus family, and same with financial. So any of these four corners can kind of be a juggling act that is occurring. They do show you do a good job of it, but they're reminding you as this pulls through into your current month of November that this is a very, very fragile procedure. They show in this deck that they wanted to use for you here that the bird is holding a key, which is, as it thinks it's its key, it's actually a pin to a grenade. So it's just, hey, be a little careful or you could blow this whole thing up. It's basically like cautionary. Keep doing that great juggling act. You guys are doing good. If I had that inverted, they'd be saying, hey, Leos, this is a disaster. This is a mess. They did not do that. So I pay just as much attention to what they say as to what they don't say. Very important. As we move forward into the near future, guys, they show that this is a little bit tight here. The next November moving into December a little bit here is going to get a little, you're going to have less freedom than normal. Now, what kind of freedom they're referring to, it's going to be different for everybody. The context, of course, in a general reading is massively huge because not all Leos are the same. You all are living different lives, doing different things, but they talk about a little less freedom than usual. They want you to still smell the roses in this deck. That basically says smell the flowers, that you're not completely tied down. It may feel like you're extremely overwhelmingly tied down into something, whether it's work or whether it's something with health or financial, whatever it is, something with the family, whatever the situation, circumstance moves into. But they want to remind you that you're not as tied down as you feel like you are. So it's a reminder to kind of give yourself the ability here to look on the good side of things. Remember that that you're not a slave to this. Your kids might be all doing all these different activities. You got to run them around to soccer practice and then to things after school, and then we got to do homework and all these things, and you're just being super mom, for example. You're not completely tied down. There is still some time for you. It may be limited and you may have to be a little strategic with it, but you're still having enough freedom to move around, enough mobility. So that's what they show for the future. So it's just letting you know that that's on its way. And that may also be a mental thing because it's a suit of swords. So it may be less physical and more kind of the feeling of what's going on up here, the more kind of mental aptitude. Now, as we move into the above position in the Celtic cross, this is something that you're aware of, and they're saying here that you're dealing with, a lot of you Leos are dealing with a bad decision. This is usually reoccurring from another time. I don't think that you're making a bad decision now, or else this would be worded differently. This would be in a different position. They'd be warning you about it. So instead, they're talking about it, which it indicates that this has already occurred. And if that's the case, we can't go back in the past. We can't erase it and do it differently. All we can do is move forward. We have today and tomorrow. We don't have yesterday anymore. It's gone. So the bad decision that is eking in, they do say that all that glitters is not gold. That's my Angel Oracle card. So it's a reminder here that something there may not have been how it looked. It might have been like, hey, you found this wonderful TV set you wanted to buy online. It was a great deal, and you forked out the few $100s for it, and then it never came. It turned out to be a scam, something like that. So all that glitters is not gold. Something may appear to be different than what it actually is. This could also be people, guys. This could be just about anything. It's just saying, hey, look past the surface level. The surface level, it looks like gold, but when you go deeper, there's something in there that's not. And it links to this bad decision. Okay, so what can we do about that? Well, like I said, we can only move forward. So, you got to take what action you can moving forward, but don't beat yourself up over the past. Just try to learn from any mistakes that occur. That's what it's really all about. I really do believe also that is the main difference between smart people and stupid people. We all make mistakes. The smart people just learn from them, and the stupid people keep repeating them. So as we move into the bottom position, this is something here that you're not aware of. And this is one of my favorite spots in the Celtic cross because they're telling you something you don't know. Now what they're referring to here is the home. They got the home energy, the home vibe, the family. That's coming up here as something that is important that you don't realize how important it is. So whether this is a project that you guys have to finish in November, whether this is anything else with the home, maybe it's just spending more time with the family, getting everybody on the same page, spending more time than usual. They bring up the home environment as as something that you just are overlooking here. I don't feel like it's neglect. If it was neglect, they would have turned this around and said, hey, you know what, Leo, you just been letting this go to hell, and we can't do that. We got to turn this around. They didn't do that. They just are bringing attention here to how important your home is in November. Now, for some of you, that may be more literal, like it's time to move. It's time to start looking at the different houses in the market and, weighing different options and stuff like that. But that's, of course, going to be lesser of my audience. So we bring in the home card as a hugely important thing for the month of November. Now, before I get into number 7, which is your advice column, I want to tell you real quick about the new products that I just launched because I'm so excited to share them with you. The first one is a service. It is the most thing that I get asked about the most in my long services, my 30 and 60 full services. People ask all the time about their deceased loved ones that have passed away. Do they have a message for me? Can I communicate with them? What do they got to say? Can we touch base? And basically, this is now available as a standalone product. So if you don't have to get a full reading. If this is the only thing that you want to touch base with, you want to hand that phone through the veil and see what's going on over there, something that that they've been watching maybe and giving you some advice on something in your life, all that kind of stuff, very pertinent. I've been doing this for a long time and very successfully too. And I'm finally offering it as a standalone product. So this is the Messages from Heaven. You guys will love it. It is on my bite-sized set right now. It's kind of in between like a 30-minute and a bite-size, but we're putting it in the bite-size column, offering it at a great introductory rate. You guys will love it. Check out the Messages from Heaven, the most popular thing I get asked about. Now you can do as a standalone, you can do it as an audio reading that you don't even have to show up for, or a video conference, so whichever one you prefer. The other thing I got to tell you about, guys, is the t-shirts, the new addition to the physical store, the spiritual store, getting one product bigger every single month. In this case, it's 2 designs, but it's one product, and it's the t-shirt line. I got 2 different patterns here, different graphics that we're offering in a bunch of variety of different colors, much more than are being shown on the screen. I'm flashing these as I talk about it on the screen so you can get an idea, but much more colors than what you're seeing here. I just grabbed a few for the show, basically. And, this is something that is third party. This is the first thing that I've done for my shop that is not fulfilled by me. All the other products were fulfilled by me. The Scott Sagent Sage Soap, the Sunflower Potpourri, the Sunflower Mister, all those great products still available, make great gifts for Christmas. But the t-shirt line, the sweatshirts, the hoodies, all that stuff, it is third party. I don't have a t-shirt press, and I'd probably screw it up even if I did. So that is third party, done by a group called Bonfire. All the information is going to be on my website in the shop. It'll link you right to it. So you basically shop on my site, and they just bring you over there for the payment, picking out your colors and sizes and stuff like that. And Bonfire does all the shipping, returns if necessary, and they'll handle all that for you. They'll take great care of you. So those 2 products are hugely something that you guys will enjoy. Now let's get into number 7. 7, advice. They talk about inaction with work. Now, this is the first time that they really talked about work for my Leos in the month of November. And here they're saying, you know what, hey, don't do anything crazy here. No drastic moves, no major changes. Kind of business as usual, really. For some of you, they're saying actually don't do something here. So it makes me feel like some of you are getting an offer. Maybe, hey, your friend says, hey, come work with me instead. I got this great startup. We'll get you paid well, something like that. Spirit saying, we're looking to head down the path, and this just doesn't really work out that good as it turns out. It may look like it's a good thing, but you know what? You should just hold back for right now. So we have inaction. We kind of have that like less is more for my Leos for the work corner. And the work corner is a big place too. It's work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, learning anything new, entrepreneurship. For most people, it's the JOB. So I like to give it to you all in a general reading. Let's move up to number 8. 8 is your environment card. Now, this is the area that's around you, the people that are around you. And what they're saying here, Leo, I actually need to pull an oracle card there too. I missed that one. What they show here is that, we need a purge. We need a purge. This is going to segue very nicely into the new moon versus full moon, the moon cycles that I'll give you guys next. A cleaning of the closet is needed here. There is just too much old junk here. And whether it's physical junk or whether it's like people in your lives that got to go that are just no good, or what this actually purge is they're saying that this is around you and it's kind of in your aura, your bubble here, and it's got to go. They show chaos and conflict, so this is like stuff that doesn't really fit very well. It's a weird way to put it, but it makes me feel like, if you had a collection of baseball cards and then all of a sudden, you found some basketball cards. Well, that doesn't really go with your collection. It's just kind of a side thing. Oh, maybe you should donate that. Maybe you should sell it or do something with it. Of course, that's a silly example. It's just the first thing that popped in my head, but you should understand the energy of it. That's all I'm really trying to convey. So that's what they show for the environment, is that we do need a purge, so that basically we need a clean slate. Spirit wants you to get to a clean slate so you can do something different here. So like I said, whether this is cleaning out an actual garage or closet, finishing up an old project, whatever it is, it's very, very full moon energy. Let's talk about that right now, guys. Your moon cycle forecast, I like to give it to you every single month. The first thing that hits is the full moon too. So this is going to be extremely important for my Leos to focus on early in November. It hits on November 8th, but you don't have to do it on the 8th. Any time toward the beginning of the month is great for getting things out of your life, whether it's people, breaking bad habits, emotional baggage, whatever it is for you. If it's got to go, full moon energy, guys, I call it the garbage truck of the universe. Set it out to the street, let the garbage man take it away for you. And that's what the full moon does. Adversely, we have the new moon. The new moon comes in the day before Thanksgiving. That is November the 23rd. And this is the best time in November for you to bring something new into your life that wasn't there before. Let's say you're trying to attract new love. Again, doesn't have to be on the day. Excuse me. Choking on the incense over here. Doesn't have to be on the day. It's just any time toward the later part of November is key for bringing and it manifesting and attracting new things into your life. So if it's new love, something new with work, something new with, well, they said, hold on, maybe nothing new with work right now, okay? Leos, that is some advice they told you. Something new with health or diet. Okay, now that's a perfect example of why you don't want to do it on the 23rd. You don't want to start a new diet the day before Thanksgiving. Are you serious? You don't want to start a new exercise program and start jogging and running the day before Thanksgiving? Absolutely not. Wait till Black Friday. Wait till the next Monday after that. Enjoy the weekend and then get to work, okay? So that's the new moon energy. It doesn't matter what you're trying to bring into your life either. The universe doesn't care. They just want you to, these energies just exist. And it's just, it's easier to walk downhill than it is to walk uphill. These are just the energies, and use them to your benefit. That's what I want you to do. That's all the only reason I'm putting these out here for you is so you can implement positive change and make things just go a little smoother. If any of this has confused you, which sometimes I have a ability to do that a little bit, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is free. It is on my website, scottsagent.com. You just go down to my videos page is where I have it parked. Videos page at the bottom there, you will see the moon cycle cheat sheet, little graphic illustration of what goes on in November with these moons and how you can line up certain things in your life with them to make it go a little smoother. So check that out, guys. While you're at the website too, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. My newsletter people just got hooked up hugely in the month of November. They're all getting free readings if they so choose. I do that a couple times a year. Hook up my newsletter people. I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for updates. Give you guys promo codes, save you money on readings, all kinds of good stuff. And fun things are going on all the time on the channel. Speaking of fun things, make sure you follow the Facebook page too, because I do giveaways on there also. So the newsletter thing is a no-brainer. Make sure you take advantage of that. Then you'll never miss any of the free stuff ever again. You'll get hooked up as well. So let's move up. Spot number 9. Spot number 9. This is hopes and fears. This is a good hope, and it's a hope. It's a good one. It's basically saying that, wish fulfillment. It's my star card, the card of wish fulfillment. Wishing upon a star, getting what you want, manifesting. This is really, in this set, this is really all about your day-to-day choices. This is about your free will. So it's not about fate. This is really about you, Leo, making things happen. So hope shows that your perception is good, your outlook is great, all that stuff. I like the way it looks, but just remember, hoping is not enough. You still have to do the work. For example, if you're trying to get new love, you can't just expect somebody to knock on your door and be like, hey, here I am. You got to do the work. You got to, either join sites or go out to places where other singles will be. So you got to meet the universe halfway here. So hoping is good, but you got to do the work too. And I feel like a lot of you are. It's just they're reminding you here that this is up to you, that your free will is going to dictate this. Now they also show peace. So they just want you to get to a place where you are just good, where you find peace and happiness, remembering that only love is real. And, the things that you care about in love, well, that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Everything else is just illusionary. It doesn't matter, So that's what we got there. As we move into spot number 10, this is your final outcome for the month. A very good, important one to have. We have the Lovers card, so we're ending with two people or two entities working very closely together. This may be you and your relationship partner, you and your spouse. This could be you and a good friend. A bunch of different ways it could be, a bunch of different people, but it's two entities working together. Now, which one they are for you is going to be different for everybody, but what they show is fork in the road. So a lot of you are working on ways that you are moving things. And it does feel very love corner-like. So those of you that are in a relationship, it feels like you're working on which way you're taking this family dynamic, major decisions that are going to be made maybe soon or coming or on the way. And you're starting to maybe plan some things out. Now, for you singles, for example, this could be, you meeting somebody very interesting as well. And or just trying to maneuver through the dating pool to find somebody that's very interesting. And the Lovers card coming in inverted or not inverted, actually clean and clear, is a good indicator for all my singles too. It's actually a good indicator for everybody across the entire board. So that's a good way to end. Let's get your Runestone, guys. Let's get your Runestone, guys, which will conclude a very interesting reading. Some good advice in there. A few things to look out for too and to work on. And that's really how we grow. So here we go. Your Runestone for the month of November is going to be this guy right here. And this is the Runestone of Movement. We have movement coming in for Leo. That sounds familiar. I'm wondering if you had that last month too, or maybe the one before that. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. A lot of movement going on. That brings me back to my first card of why you need the rest and relaxation. You need a little break here because we have had so much movement. I think there's going to be a continuation of that too. For a lot of my Leos, this may feel like a little bit of a continuation from October as you move into a more peaceful era here. So when we have movement here, it's a reminder to not be rigid, to go with the flow as much as you can. Don't fight the currents. And, with movement coming in, it's just letting you know that things may be a little busy, maybe a little crazy. And that's why your rest is going to be so important. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're eating right and you're resting and you're hitting the reset button on your life and recharging those batteries, those spiritual batteries that we all need recharged. So at the end of the day, movement is just, letting you know what is and what to expect. So that has been a very good reading, and that brings us full circle, very back to the very beginning. Love it when they do that. And that wraps us up here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe. I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you before. Have a great November.